Welcome to our first episode. This is Sass with a little bit of class. I'm Kiara Williamson, and today we're going to be talking about trust. Sorry, we're just going to dive right in, okay? How would you feel if your boyfriend went on a lad's holiday, okay? Like, really think about it. How do you think you would feel? It wasn't really a lad's holiday, really. I just kind of said that to hook you in. His football team was playing away, so he went away to watch them somewhere in Europe. And yeah, honestly, when he told me he was going, totally fine. But as the weeks got closer and as the days got closer, I thought, oh shit. A little bit of background, okay? Me and Connor have been together for almost 5 years. We've been together since I was 18. I think he was 20. And we've done a lot of growth, both of us. Like, I speak for both of us when I say that. Like, we've definitely changed. And, like, I wouldn't even recognise myself now. Like, yeah, a lot of growth, a lot of growth. So, when he told me he was going away, I was like, absolutely fine. And then as the days got closer, I thought, oh shit. I thought, oh, Psycho Kiara might be coming back, actually. But then he went away, and I was absolutely fine. And the only thing was, when he left for he was getting about 4 planes to this place, okay? Well, 2 planes and then was it 3 planes there? I think it was 3 planes there and 2 planes back. I wasn't bothered, I wasn't really thinking, it didn't even cross my mind, like, oh my god, imagine he's going to speak to a girl. That did not cross my mind, and I'm like, that is growth, by the way. And then I was kind of just worried about, like, him dying, to be blunt. I was like, oh my god, the plane's gonna crash. And then I was like up at like 5 a.m. Think he left about 3 to catch his flight. I was up until 5. It was really good because my pal was actually still awake as well. And I was just kind of like, imagine he died. And then I just started circling, and I do this, right? So my mum's been on holiday with like my little siblings, and she was on her own. That freaked me out. Thought everyone was going to die. Thought someone was going to get kidnapped. Totally overthought that. Absolutely fine. Nothing happened. Then my dad went away with my uncle, and they're like your typical lads, okay? So I was worried about them. I'm like, and you hear a lot just now, like there's a lot of like attacks, random attacks, and that going on. The world's just not really a safe place to be, you know. So it wasn't just because it was Connor. I just kind of like overthink life anyway. Okay, when someone that I like cared about leaves, it just freaks me out. Okay, it just absolutely freaks me out. Honestly, I was overthinking everything. I was planning like what I would do on Facebook, like your typical GoFundMe, like so I can get him. Oh, honestly, I was thinking about everything, and I do this all the time, right? Proper. I think I've got health. Is it health anxiety? Death anxiety? I have no idea, but the whole thing just freaks me out. And then it wasn't until I woke up the next day, same day, but when I went to sleep and I woke back up, I was like, wow, like I'm actually not concerned about him like being like disloyal or disloyal. I'm just not really like, I wasn't even thinking like that. And I'm like, that, gals, that's a big one, okay? And like we've never really been apart. Like the only time that we were apart was like COVID. So we're apart for like 10 days. God, that was a hard one. Um, but obviously like he was just in his house and I was just in my house. But this time he was like away. Do you know what I mean? And he was busy, so he wasn't really texting. And to be fair, I thought if he isn't texting for me, I'm really not going to be happy. There's not really a big time difference; it's like an hour. But I was just like, he's going to be busy. He was with his friends. He was with his family. I just thought, you do you, hun. Me and Ralph will be totally fine. So, he was like texting me, being like blah blah blah. And I was just like, okay, enjoy yourself. Bye. I'm trying to have like, I don't know. I was just having like a total me time, like skin, like just self care, like having little like baths, everything, showers, um, fresh bed, and I was just loving life really. Um, so yeah, it was really good. But it got me thinking like that a couple of years ago, I would not have acted like that. I would have been an absolute psycho. Connor just he didn't even have to reassure me. Like I didn't even ask. This is like mind blowing to me. Like if you knew me when I was like in my teens, okay, whoa, she was crazy, okay? But was I, or was it the boys? Do you know what I mean? Was it the boys, or was I psycho? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna blame the boys. I'm just gonna say it was them, not me. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I didn't like before he went. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, like you'll need to tell me if you do something. Like I wasn't even thinking like that. I was thinking, I kept saying to him, just be safe. Like, you're hearing about a lot of these people, like an Ibiza, the balcony situation, and I'm just kind of like, it freaks me out. Okay, absolutely freaks me out. And I was like, mentally, are you okay? Like, can you? I was just honestly, deaf anxiety is. I don't even know if I have that. I'm just diagnosing myself. Sorry to be one of them gals, but yeah, I really do freak out with stuff like that. Always have. But yeah, I just thought, wow, like Connor is honestly like the best person ever. Like we have completely like changed each other, but like for the better. Like we've totally grew with each other, and I think that's what relationships all about. Like if he would went away in our first and a half year in, that would have been hell. That would have been really hell. But now I didn't even have to ask. Before with him, I would have been like, did anything happen then? What happened then? Who was there then? He was in a picture with a gal, didn't stalk her, didn't care. Don't care. I think it was actually like somebody's wife. And if he wanted to, he would. Works both ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they wanted to do something good, they would. If they wanted to do something bad, they would. You can't stop it from happening. Sorry, gals, to break it to you. You can't. Okay? And if you do stop them once, they'll just find another way to do it. Your girl's never been cheated on, so I can't really talk from experience. But that's just how I feel, okay? Like if you're with a boy and you've been together for a while, I'm talking maybe 2.5 years plus, even then, 3 years plus. If you're still feeling insecure, that's not on you, babe. Okay? Yeah, you might need to do a wee bit of work on yourself. Let's not lie, but it's not on you. He should be making you. Your partner should be making you feel like God's fucking gift. Okay? And you shouldn't even need to like reassure you at first maybe, but in the long run, no, you should just build to trust. Like you shouldn't need to be like, oh, wonder what he's doing. Like you shouldn't be in the girls group chat being like, oh, what's he doing, wonder if he's doing anything. Oh, he's not texting me and this. He should be like Connor was texting me the whole time. I was literally like, babes, go and have fun, off you go. Do you know what I mean? I wanted him to be enjoying himself, but before I was a jealous gal, okay? Before I'd be like, oh, why are you on holiday? What, you're on holiday and I'm stuck here? Absolutely not. I'm gonna make your life hell. That's just the kind of inappropriate, like immature girl that I was, to be honest. She's gone. Don't even know who that is anymore. And then now I speak to people that are either younger or maybe not been in long-term relationships, and I'm like, wow, you're still having these conversations. You just forget, and it's like humbling. It's kind of like opens your eyes a wee bit. Like wow, like me and Connor are in such a good position. People would absolutely love to have what we have, and we're just so lucky. And I'm just like, oh, blessed. Anyway, but me and Carl actually always talking about like, you know how people are like, oh, like people are just so ungrateful with like they don't know what they've got until it's gone. Nah, me and Carl are talking about how great we are like every day. We're like, oh my god, like our relationship's really good. Like we've got a dog, we've got a house, like we're absolutely loving life. And I'm just like for example, doing this podcast, me posting on TikTok like every fucking day. 3 times a day, that's bad. I don't know if I would have the confidence to do that if it wasn't for Connor, to be honest. So run the pause to him. I just don't think I would. I just don't think I'd have that confidence towards everything I do. When I told him I wanted to make a podcast, he wasn't like, "Oh my god, how embarrassing." He was like, he maybe was in his head, but he didn't make that clear. But anyway, my room, I call it my studio, okay, because it's like my makeup studio, and that was my podcast studio. You know, it's just my little studio room, okay. Um, it's quite small, but we made it work. We were in here at like 1 a.m. hanging this curtain up, moving this chair about, like envisioning. He was giving ideas. Just get yourself a man that like hypes you up. That's what you need. You need a boy that's like a hype gal. That's like a gals group chat all in one. Okay? That's what you need. Really, really, really lucky to have him. I think for trust, communication for me is key to building that. But it's not always been 10-10, okay? It's been rocky at the beginning. I think just communication, like I love if someone's wrong, I love to talk about it, okay? I need to talk. If someone's wrong with me, I need to discuss it. I can't just like move past it and forget about it. That's just not the kind of gal I am. So I think communication for me is key. And that was definitely something that we had to work on. Learning about the other person and just like what their boundaries are, and basically don't do something if you think it's going to fuck off the other person. Do you know what I mean? I hear about like my friends that are in situationships. I think I can't do that. I couldn't. I actually couldn't. I wouldn't even know what to say to a boy. Hi, what's your favorite color? What am I meant to say? Do you know what I mean? It's just not. I just don't know what I would do with my life. People that are younger, like, oh, like, or even not, like, my pals are my age, and like, oh, he was liking girls' pictures on Instagram. Oh, bore off. More of? What do you mean? I don't know. Me and Connor were like speaking as we used to call it back in the day, which basically just means like closed off, weren't really speaking to anyone else. And he had just basically said, but actually, Connor didn't actually ever really say to me that we were closed off, but we kind of just got the hint. Do you know what I mean? But he basically just he phoned me one day. I was ready to go into work. He phoned me. He was like, oh, by the way, I've deleted all the girls off of Snapchat. Your girl didn't have to ask him. But like even that, like I think because we were like 18 at this point, he was 20. I think of those like those conversations and things like that. It's really like immature and really like something that you would only like I don't know, because me and Connor were quite young when we were having conversations like that. I think now that people my age don't have conversations like that. I think, oh, everyone's past that stage. Everyone's like boys aren't liking people's pictures. Like nobody's having these conversations until I speak to my pals. And some of those conversations they're having, I'm like, whoa. Conversations that I had when I was 18, I kind of put that as like childish conversations. And to be honest, I still think they are. I'm like, why do you have to ask them to stop liking girls' pictures? I don't understand. And like now, I'm like, I don't know if I would care if Connor was liking other girls' pictures on Instagram. But then Connor, it's weird because it's hard because Connor doesn't use Instagram. He's not really a social media guy, and that took me a while to get used to. By the way, a while. And now I'm like, I actually don't care. I actually don't care if you like. I think it was for our 4 years. We didn't even do a post. And back in the day, I would be like, oh my god, you didn't even do a post. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm like, I don't even do one. I think I'm just over it. I don't know if like you all relate, like if you're in like a long term relationship, the things that seemed so big at the start are really, really small. And like he didn't use social media, so he didn't really want to post. Let's just be honest here as well. If you then tell him to post you and then he does, or like you moan about it, whatever, and then he does, you're going to be like that. Oh, you only did that because I asked. It's a lose-lose situation, okay? I would just stop giving. And if you're really, really that concerned about, oh, he's hiding me, leave. Literally just leave. Well, maybe don't actually. That's just me being petty. But just like communicate that and understand why he's not posting. Like obviously Connor's reason was he literally didn't use social media, and I was like, no, what fair it is. With trust, I feel like communication is key, and setting boundaries as well. But then again, that's kind of like communication. That's just like something that you could obviously chat about. And I think just thinking about the other person and being wary about the other person's feelings. And but I hope you're all in amazing, happy, healthy relationships. And if not, I hope you're loving single life. And please don't be chasing boys, because really, realistically, you don't need one. I actually felt like when Connor was away, I was a lot more productive. He makes me lazy. I was so honestly, this house was gleaming. Me and Ralphie had the best time, and I didn't go for a nap once. And usually I'm a napper. I like to go for a sleep. It's like 6 o'clock ish, and I didn't. So the only thing was sleeping on your own is the worst. I really didn't like that. That was hell. But I just made sure, obviously, because I went napping, I was tired at night. So me and Ralphie were like bedded by 10:30 every night, loving life. See, if I didn't have Ralphie though, I think I really probably would have struggled. I would have been bored, and I made sure I was busy. Like the Wednesday, I think I went to my mum's for tea, and the Thursday I went out for tea, and then Friday I just kind of potted about and like made sure everything was clean from coming home. And I was decorating my little room on Friday as well. Ta-da! Hopefully you like it. Poster thing keeps falling down, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, yeah, I think if your boyfriend is going on holiday, blah blah, blah and you're a wee bit worried about it, you can totally send me a message if you want. Talk to your girls. Make sure you're busy, and yeah, maybe buy yourself a dog. Not nothing dramatic or anything like that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. This has been Sass with a little bit of class. I have been Kiara. Especially you have been amazing. What the fuck? Is that what people say at like concerts? I don't know. Anyway, sorry if this has been a little bit rough. This is just my first time, so go easy. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. See, if I knew that you had listened to this the whole way through and made it to the end, I think I'd probably cry. Because who actually wants to listen? Like, who actually cares what I have to say? Literally no one. And you've listened to the end. But maybe even that. Maybe you don't even know I'm saying this. Anyway, have a fantastic week. You will find me on YouTube and Spotify every single Sunday. I just thought of Sunday because imagine you're doing like your Sunday reset, you want someone to listen to in the background. Maybe you've got work on Monday. Listen to me in the car, on your way home, or on your way to work. I don't know, it just seems like a cute little cozy vibe. Anyway, I hope you like this setup, by the way. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.